We want to know what is happening in your region as far as the regional politics is concerned. How is politics playing out in your region? Hit us on Twitter. AM Live NTV is a Twitter handle. AM Live NTV is a profile name on Facebook. And 20505, our SMS portal. We have our panelists. If you're joining us this morning, I'm holding court with Senator Boni Khalwale, who is a senator of Kakamega. We have Senator Beatrice Elachi, who is a majority whip in the Senate. Also, we have with us His Excellency Governor Ruto, who is the governor of Bomet. And also we have Jakoyo, who is a member of parliament from GEM, also the deputy leader in the National Assembly, and also Senator Kimani Wamatangi, who is a senator from Kiambu. Let's begin with the Rift Valley politics right now. And we have this quote from His Excellency Deputy President. He says, we are, quote unquote, we are Kalenjins. These guys making noise around, castigating me, should know that we supported Arap Moi, that is the former president, Daniel Arap Moi, to become president. Kalenjin stood by him shoulder to shoulder until he became president. So this uncircumcised son of Arap Moi should not bring us his stupidity by telling us that we cannot support other Kalenjin leaders from other families. Tell them to leave us, to stop playing with us. And of course, you had a rejoinder to this. You've been also a strong critic of Deputy President William Ruto on his plans to merge TNA and URP without consulting the URP politicians. Right now you have Chama Mashinani.
Yes.
Tell us more about this particular verbiage coming from the president. First of all, he says he supported the Kalenjins, and Gideon Moi should go away with his stupidity because he thinks he's uncircumcised.
Mm. Yes, a lot of people think I have differences, personal differences with the deputy president. But I don't have personal differences, but I have differences with, I abhor some of the statements he makes, like that one. I would find it very, very, very uncouth. It should not be coming from a leader of this nation. First of all, the Kalenjins did not support Moi to become president. He wouldn't become president simply because of the Kalenjins. The Kalenjins are a very small group in Kenya. And I think we should be moving out of tribal politics. We know it is still there, but it is an irritant. I think we should move to the age of ideas and ideologies in political parties, but not tribal conglomerations. So in that essence, in Rift Valley, not just in Rift Valley, I think in Kenya, first of all, I'm a founder, or I was a founder member of URP, and myself, William, and Kutuny, and Charles Keter, and Duale. And we formed that, and we went deliberately to go into coalition with TNA. And there were clear programs of action which we thought we would implement. But not only did we fail to implement those ones, we just forgot all about it. First of all, we've always liked consultative leadership styles. And that is what we even had questions when we were in ODM. We wanted consultative leadership. It's never coming, it never came, even in the Jubilee coalition. And they started folding up parties. They started harassing counties.
Yes.
And we didn't understand them. When you ask questions, they start telling us, look at such responses that we get. That, and I think it resonates well with the other story we keep hearing, that we are eating, the others are supposed to swallow saliva. So all these things are going backward. The politics of Kenya is actually becoming more and more backward. And yet we thought we were moving forward, even amongst our generation.
So
within our generation, we cannot possibly be talking.
So from your own estimation, you think that there's no consultative leadership from the Jubilee government?
There isn't consultative leadership in Jubilee.
All right.
All they do is to harass MPs into sycophants. They herd them to Karen or to State House, and they tell them what decisions to make. And then they come out and they go and pass in parliament and refuse even amendments, which we used to debate very seriously in committees.
Okay, any of you
I
can...
think that is where I think I really miss the 11th parliament, where we were with my friend here and Jakoyo. We used to do a lot of debate, and we agreed on things. We never waited for State House to tell us what to do. Exactly. And I must give thumbs up to Kibaki. Even when he had a lot of majority, he never really pushed them to on a given line. And I think this is where we are going wrong in the Jubilee conglomeration. And some of us have said no to this. We would rather have different parties come up with ideologies, and try even to sow a seed of decorum in the political playing field.
All right, so you hold with this view that there's no consultative leadership within Jubilee. We'll come to...
I'm not a member of Jubilee.
Of course.
But even if I pretended that there was consolidative leadership in Jubilee, there's no evidence of the same. The evidence we are seeing is simply a dictatorship, mainly of the president, and sometimes supported by a deputy president who is so desperate to project himself as a front runner for the 2022 presidential election. However, since we are on the Rift Valley and my colleagues have commented on it, allow me to comment on the issue of the university fiasco at Moi University. Kenyans, we must all be afraid that villagers have today been shown having come into the streets in support of what the governors did. This, to me, we are now starting to drum up the politics of my resource, of our resource. In 1992, 1997, 2007, we had tribal clashes because leaders had drummed up the politics of land as our resource. Now that somebody has started drumming up the drums for education and university in particular as our resource for giving people jobs, this might be actually the beginning of a new narrative to make Rift Valley look like institutions are a resource there meant only for one community. I want to conclude by appealing to the president to demonstrate and insist that Kenyans must view universities as national centers for ethnic integration. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Elachi.
Well, first of all, let me start with the university issue. For me, it is unfortunate. And I want the governor of Uasin Gishu, as Governor Isaac Ruto has said, to come out and tell us what is it, because he's just acting. I don't even think he's supposed to act and then they'll bring in so I don't know what is the problem of acting in 3 or 6 months that is gonna mess the university. They need to tell us, because even me, I was shocked and I said, not in this era, not in our generation that we can be doing that. But having said that, now let's go now to the issue of Jubilee and the consultative leadership. First of all, I don't want to comment on what you have given us. Why? I don't understand Kalenjin. I want to know, and I want it to be put here, if the DP talked in English that way. But if he spoke in Kalenjin, I am a Luya.
But he is here. No, he's
well, I'm saying
to
me
this.
Now.
Okay.
I am saying me. He is privy, he is a Kalenjin, he understood what he said.
But that's not the first time he's making such abusive
That's what
epithets.
I also wanted to ask. Is this the second time he's making the same abuse?
Several.
Is it the first time? And I don't think, indeed, the DP said the son of Moi is uncircumcised. The words you've just put in English, kindly repeat it to Kenyans, because it will be unfortunate.
All right. Can I quote it? This is, of course, lifted from one of the dailies, that we are Kalenjins. This guy is making noise around castigating me. Should know that we supported Arap Moi to become president. Kalenjins stood by him shoulder to shoulder until he became president. So this uncircumcised son of Arap Moi should not bring us his stupidity by telling us that we cannot support other Kalenjins leaders from other families.
Thank you.
Tell them to leave us, to stop playing with us.
Now, Debarl,
yes,
the deputy president is one person who is very easy to come in any studio. This is a statement, and I am saying this in the morning, Kenyans are hearing. You need to invite the deputy president to come and talk about that statement in the nation studio to defend or tell Kenyans. I think he has never refused. He will come, because it will be wrong for us, especially for us who don't understand the language, to start debating on something that I don't know whether the interpretation of the words he said and what is in English is right.
This is just setting the tone of what we're having with the Rift Valley politics as well. And you had something to say?
Secondly,
before
he goes, on the Rift Valley politics, I think we would have looked at the issues, because even the governors have issues. What is happening is Governor Mandago, not the deputy president. 2, there are many other issues, even us would wish to ask, especially from me, from the Senate, I would wish to ask before it goes even a general question to my governors.
All right, but
what is the, wait first,
what the governor has raised is this: in the Jubilee fraternity, do you have consultative leadership? Or
a lot
there
of
is dictatorship, as he has indicated. Listen to what he says, and this is what he said.
Now, I am saying,
yes,
one of the democracies we enjoy as members of Jubilee is that we are able to say this we are not doing. And they know. And I believe the governor, and that's why I don't want to argue with the governor, because the governor has personal issues. Personal. Let us not bring now economic and development issues, which if we go that route, even the governor will find himself in a corner, because we'll ask very critical questions about it. But personal issues between the two, I cannot be part of that debate, because I have no idea what personal issues.
Can we hear from you? Do you have personal issue with the deputy president?
It's very clear that we have no personal issues. I just want to, of course, she's making a convenient argument that she does not understand Kalenjin. But we were commenting about Jordan. But anyway, the point here is
Jordan was in English. Jordan was in English. Kalenjin is Kalenjin.
Let me make a plain interpretation.
Yes.
He said that the Kehe of Moi, that if for those who understand Kikuyu.
Yes.
Now, I would like to hear from Khalwale. What do you call that person who is uncircumcised?
Musindi.
Yeah, it is the Musindi of Moi. It is a Musindi. Yeah, what does that translate? Yeah, it means exactly that. It can't mean anything else. And really, is this the sort of language you would want to use as a leader if you really want to proceed? But the point here is not so much that. There are several that he abused me in 2 rallies, 3 rallies in Bomet.
But you also abused the governor.
I have never abused. Can you pick? Can you bring an abuse?
You do, governor.
Can you bring an abuse and put on TV where I have abused any single individual? I don't do that.
All right. You say that we are not sack of potatoes to be auctioned in the market. No one should imagine that he or she can hold voters for the simple reason you are in power. Yes. If the Jubilee coalition leadership cannot change tack and open the doors for consultations, then they are telling us that they will not need our votes in 2017 general election. Did you say this?
Yes, I did.
You did.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on also forward, because I think many people were hanging on to the notion that actually right now you've reconciled with the deputy president, have you? No. Have you reconciled? On the issue of we saw you making pact with him on because you had differences.
We never made any pact. We met in a funeral, and he said, "Let there be consultation." I thought, yes, correct. That is what I've been asking you for the last 10 years.
So those pictures that we saw, that now you've reconciled, and or do you see eye to eye right now as far as the Rift Valley politics is concerned with the deputy president?
On Rift Valley politics, we've got 2 different views. My view is different, his view is different. On national issues, we have got different ideas. I'm not about to join the Jubilee party.
Right.
We were in the Jubilee coalition. The Jubilee coalition is no more. I was in URP, and the other group was in TNA, and we came together to form the Jubilee coalition. Now that the Jubilee coalition is no more, I am not in Jubilee party. I opted to go to have Chama Shinani, because the coalition isn't there. I was never in TNA, and any success of TNA, I cannot be in it. And you can see it. So that one I'm not on that. The other
all right, okay, just a moment. No, but just a moment. Just a moment.
You had all Kenyans into one party, and I made that statement. It is
yes.
figurative.
Yes.
That it's like putting everyone into a bag. Unashona juu, unabeba, ukichoka unakalia. I say that. Ukichoka unakalia. You sell it.
All right. Like so let's come to Wamatangi. No, just a moment.
So
Wamatangi
can be put in a potato bag
and
then carried all over the place for sale.
Wamatangi, are you in a potato bag na umekaliwa?
Let me first say that the statement that you read out, there is nothing that's more fair, especially when you make, when you read a statement with those kind of implications. The best way to deal with it is to ensure that you give the other person the right of reply. And you know, so when you know that you are about to bring about that to debate,
Yes.
it is important that the concerned person is first invited, that we will be discussing this, and we would want you to make a comment on this particular statement.
But it has been in the public domain.
So let me, it's
And
my,
also
it's
has
my,
been
it's my,
headlining
it's
the-
my
the
opportunity.
dailies as
So
well.
let me say what I have to say.
Okay, let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
My
Just a
point
moment.
is this.
Let him finish.
It's my opportunity. You all weighed in on it. And what I'm saying is that, you know, if we use that approach, then what we are doing is we are using this stage to lynch people, to create an impression where we know that the people, the person we are talking about, is not in a position to reply. And I don't think that amounts to fairness. Now, secondly, when it comes to the question of whether is the Jubilee Party consultative, is it being led in a dictatorial way? Now, Governor Isaac Ruto has got every democratic right to express himself, his will politically, as a leader also, and have his party, Chama cha Mashinani, and that is not in dispute. We in Jubilee Party, what we said is that we asked everybody else in their parties who is, and this is the key word, who is willing to join Jubilee. And together we would put our, and remember what we said, that we are inviting parties and people who are like-minded. Now, Governor Ruto says he is not like-minded, and we are not at war with him not being like-minded with Jubilee. And so, what we are just saying is very simple, that when you have your party, and you are running your party according to your ideologies, your ways, and your thoughts, then please go ahead and do that. But don't ask us to be consultative with you on matters which you have already yourself said, which you have said that you do not agree with us, as long as you do not buy into our ideology as Jubilee. As long as you do not believe in the things we do not believe in, because that is why you are not in Jubilee, then don't, again, on the other hand, stand and say that you are lamenting that we are not consultative. If you want consultativeness or consultation on matters political, then you have to be Jubilee. But like I've said, you don't need to be there. On consultation about leadership and service to the people, as the governor of Bomet, you know, consultation is provided for between both levels of government by institutions, and you do not have to have consultations as a tete-a-tete between yourself and an individual. We have institutions which are very well laid out in the Constitution, where a governor can be able to consult with national government.
Right.
And Governor Ruto will tell you next Thursday, this Thursday, they will be sitting in IBEC. He is a member. When they are sitting in IBEC, every issue they themselves as governors have got, will bring it in, and you know who are the members of that IBEC? It is themselves, the presidency, and other players.
Thank you, sir.
That is how consultation is done at that level.
Thank you.
Well, Debarl, it's good, but I thought Wamatangi was going to tell us what is it that Jubilee believes in. This
Read our manifesto.
This charade, your manifesto, we discussed here. We discussed your manifesto here 2 Tuesdays in a row.
And
we found you
read our manifesto now in motion, moving forward.
Like now,
right, come on, let's just a moment.
Manifesto also, because
we are not in government.
we are not in government.
Just a moment. We'll do that. Okay. Let's have some decorum, please. It is Jakoyo speaking, please. Just a moment. Right, continue.
Beatrice.
Yes, my leader.
Make Hillary happy. Just be a good listener. you know, Isaac can be supported. You know, we disagreed with Isaac about 4 or 5 years ago in ODM. Isaac went another way. Isaac has seen what I told him. We met at a fundraiser somewhere in Kericho. I told him, Isaac, the direction you are running to, there you are following a fly. You should follow the bee. And Isaac nearly agreed with me. But now he has agreed with me. This thing called Jubilee, this money that was spent a month ago, what was being spent? What were they trying to do? Should Jubilee be telling people This was our manifesto. This is what we have achieved. We would like more time to do more to help this country. Now they're telling us how much they are eating meat. We know there is SGR, we know there is NYS, we know there is the
Eurobond.
The Eurobond. We know all these things that they're literally looting in this country. We know that Jubilee, being the first government under the new constitution, should have worked with the governors. You know, if I was the president under the new constitution, Mombasa would be a different place with our port. Already you are seeing they are building a dry port in Naivasha to kill Mombasa. Yeah, that's what they're doing. You know, so what does Jubilee believe in that we are supposed to be happy about?
Good question.
Kenya.
All right, can we let's have just a moment. Just a moment. Just we have callers who are hanging on the line. We'll come to you, Honorable. Yeah, you'll clarify. You'll clarify.
I should clarify going forward.
You will clarify. We have callers who are hanging on the line. We have to take them, I'm afraid. Right, we have callers hanging on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Martha from Kisumu. You have a question or contribution?
I would just like to comment on the first issue you discussed about the presidential debate in the U.S.
Yes.
And I'm addressing myself to our women leaders and particularly Honorable Kisu Elachi sitting there.
Yes.
As a woman, I would support candidates irrespective, any woman candidate irrespective of their political persuasion.
Yes.
But there is one lesson that as women leaders we should learn from the debate today. That in spite of the mudslinging that Trump has been engaging in and in the lies and in the twisting of facts,
Yes.
Clinton was able to stay steady and stick to the facts and say the truth. I would like our women leaders, and I'm addressing myself specifically to Honorable Elachi because I have seen her convenient arguments, avoiding facts, sometimes even telling lies. As women, we are supposed to stand above men,
Yes.
say the truth,
It's good.
stick
I will
to
learn
facts,
from that.
and let's not pick these things from men about just saying
Right.
anything for convenience.
Thank you. Thank you, Martha. We have another caller hanging on the line. Elachi will respond to that momentarily. Hello, good morning. All right, a tough connection there. You want to respond to that? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me first clarify.
Clarify, sir.
Because I
Then
think
we'll
we
come.
were going off the hook. The point here is, first of all, that the consultative leadership I was asking for was in the leadership of the Jubilee coalition, which I had a right to. As coming from URP and there was TNA, we needed that continuous consultative leadership. We had put in place a manifesto which was rubbished as soon as people went into power. And you're now telling us of a new manifesto. And the question I would have asked was, what is it, what drives this JP? What are the ideas you have which are supposed to be better than what was before? Or do you, have you come up with a new ideology? Are you improving on it? Those are the most serious questions. And as to whether we can debate a public statement like that, I don't think is an issue, because after all, you brought it in the presence of two very strong lieutenants of the DP, that is Wamatangi and Madam here. They should be able to explain that issue. They should have even questioned him as soon as they saw such a statement, that this is in bad taste, Your Excellency. What did you actually mean? And what are we going to do as your loyal lieutenants to support you in the public domain?
Thank you. Let's hear from
one thing. But let's
no. Let's go sequentially. We'll come to you. We have to hear from Senator Wamatangi.
Debarl,
Just a moment. No. You will.
Lieutenants of the DP. Can we first be clear?
Can you hold on to your
We
thoughts?
are not lieutenants of the DP. We are independent politicians who, just like Governor Ruto,
Thank you for that clarification.
have a right to hold their views.
Thank you. Let's hear from Honorable
his point can only
Boni
be
Khalwale.
made if
We'll
he
come to
can
you, sir.
justify
We'll
his
come to you, sir. Let's go sequentially. Let's hear from Honorable Khalwale.
I think the point that my colleagues from Jubilee, who are not only lieutenants, but they are also sycophants of the leaders of Jubilee, have attempted to do is to attempt to pin down Governor Isaac Ruto on the issue of the deputy president being abusive. It is true that deputy president is very abusive. If it is true what you have read to us that he said it in Kalenjin, he has also had the opportunity to come right in our backyard and insult an entire community, the Luo people. On diverse occasions, he has said, kuna yule jamaa mwingine Muluya, referring to Mudavadi. He has had an occasion to refer to me as a confused leader who feeds bulls on Bangi and Changa. He has had the audacity. Yes.
Confirm or deny?
Yes. Yes, he has had. Yes, he has had the audacity of trying to shift the meaning of Luya culture into his own meaning. Deputy President, somebody must remind him, he's just an ordinary Kenyan like all of us. Today, he's enjoying the privilege of being number 2 in the country. Tomorrow, somebody else will be in that job. He should rest easy and respect all other Kenyans. So, Governor Isaac Ruto, stay on in there. Even during the difficult times when you and I were at the university.
Yes.
Yeah, we stood up against many injustices, including your own Uncle Moi, and we managed to move the country to a higher level.
Yes.
So let's stand up against Ruto. What he's doing is wrong.
And we were put behind bars.
Thank you.
All right. So you need to clarify on the lieutenants. Yeah,
Yes.
we want to.
No.
Yeah.
In terms of Martha, I appreciate. I think we are leaders. We learn from them. So there's nothing much I can take from Martha. I have understood. As women, we should stop lying, and we should. And I think those are some of the things we learned from Hillary today. So I appreciate that, Martha. Coming to the Deputy President, I think, Debarl, if you're a fair anchor, a fair person, you need to invite him.
Yes.
I think there are many times I've sat here, and there are many issues you've raised about the Deputy President, and I think it is fair to bring him in studio.
I've attempted to
answer.
Yeah, maybe
It depends also on how he feels, because when you continue bringing the same issue on the same platform, I think he will also ask, why is it? And so you've attempted many, and I've seen he has gone to KTN, he has gone to Citizen, he has gone even to K24, so why not here? So you need to try your best, bring him. And we will tell him, I think he's listening wherever he is. Okay. This is an issue he needs to come himself. I don't want Isaac to say that we are trying to be as he says, sycophants or what, and my senator. And you know, the only challenge I face with both leaders is that you are so clean here in the morning. I know my senator who's going to be my governor in Kakamega. The rogue that he has taken my current governor. I mean, if you put the abusements here, it's the same. So I believe all political male, when they're on a platform, on their opponents, they will use any abusive language.
Did you see Barina?
Well, it started with a man again. It started with a man. It started with a man.
But this is all about.
I can see also my governor is here. When you see what happened to Joyce Laboso, it started with a man also.
All right. Could you clarify? In fact, you raise a good. What will happen with Joyce Laboso?
As women, we
also with the Jubilee politics as well.
That we will deal with.
No, it's good you raised that. I think it was also eluding my mind as well.
Yes, there was an unfortunate altercation between her and a section of the mourners. When she started introducing Jubilee politics to Kopamoja, then others started asking her whether we were together in the eating of the meat. Kopamoja kwa njia gani? They started asking, and then they started asking.
Be honest.
No. Let me finish.
Let him finish. Then
she was not there. So she had that altercation with a section of the community. She's talking about JP or Jubilee. Then we were told we were in a funeral, not in a political rally. That is what the section of the community told her. And maybe that was not also fair on that section. And indeed I told them that as soon as I rose. I told them this is not a political rally, it's a funeral. Kila mtu ako na haki. Everybody has a right to contest for any seat. Others were coming up with other irrelevant issues, which I don't subscribe to. I told them, everyone here has a right to ask for a vote. Only that this is not the forum for asking for those votes.
Thank you.
They call for a rally and they proceed.
Right.
And I don't think you can pick a word from me that is either disrespectful to Joyce as a person or to her as a woman leader or any other thing. You
Thank
will
you.
not find that
let's say from
my
Wamatangi.
statements.
Yes,
I have actually been very supportive to her.
All right, let's hear from Wamatangi.
what I said earlier stands, that fairness, the right of reply to an issue like this is the cardinal threshold that you can only lay bare because the issues discussed here. And let me say this, and I do not want to speak on behalf of the Deputy President, but I can tell you for sure, Debarl, if you want to hear this morning, that I'm personally aware that he has had serious questions himself as to whether the views portrayed by this station are partisan as far as he's concerned. I know that he has had that concern. I've heard him express it, that are the views, is the projection of his person and what he stands for from this station fair? Would he be able to find, or would he find a threshold or a level playing field, as we say? But that is his. Yes. But like I've said, and just
let him finish.
I mean, my friend,
Your Excellency, just let him finish.
Just hold on. You have a right to say what you're going to say. I just said that in the interest of disclosure, because I've heard him express that opinion. But that does not mean, and let me say so, that he would not answer to those questions if they were posed to him. I mean, I would leave that to him. The only thing that I'm saying, and this must be the standard measure, is that all the time, when matters that weighty, with such implications come to the fore, whether they are about Governor Ruto, whether they are about the Deputy President, whether they are about Raila Odinga, whoever they are, those people must find fairness. It must balance both ways, such that somebody can be able to give or project their view. Now, lastly, and this is what the impression that's trying to be created here. You see, if you would expect that because we want to look good and compliant, then that we would not have to stand for fact, that is wrong. Because in as far as Governor Ruto is wrong on the question of the presumption that he would find consultation and cooperation from Jubilee while he is in Chama cha Mashinani, that is not right. Now, my point is this. My point is very simple. That if expressing the view as we hold as a party and the principles and ideologies we stand for, if that amounts to sycophancy, if when we point what is ailing and why there is no comparison between Jubilee and what CORD stands for, reflected in the policies and ideologies of Senator Khalwale and his team, if that is what is called sycophancy, then we will stand for that. But there's one thing we cannot shy away from. I mean, this country needs to move to the next level. And people are expectant that political leadership is going to be dynamic and mutate and change as times have moved on. Now, if we continue to believe in what the personal differences, for example, between Governor Ruto and the Deputy President, when they are brought about to be the issues that must be looked at to determine the character of a person, then that is wrong. So what we are saying as a party is our ideology is clear. Our manifesto is clear as to what we stand for. The demonstration we have shown for the last 3 years in the things we have done is the testimony as to what Jubilee stands for.
Just a moment. Just a moment. No. Just a moment before. Yeah, we will come to you, sir. But we need to clarify that because you said he's been to all stations, save NTV. And of course, he's been given invitation to come to NTV or Nation Media Group for that matter. But you actually now, you've said it yourself, that he has a special umbrage. He's taken special umbrage with this particular station.
I said he has reservations.
Yes, but we were saying,
That's the way
no, just a moment. No. Let's clarify this because we've tried. Just a moment. We've tried to invite the Deputy President to come and clarify these issues, but because he thinks that we have a skewed view about his characterization, then he has actually denied this particular, not really denied, but he has declined to actually really come to this particular station. So, can we have a special invite, maybe through you,
Yes.
for him to come and clarify on these issues
would,
on this morning show?
Let me answer you this way, Debarl. Let me answer you this way, fairly.
All right.
You see, if you wanted to show me as Wamatangi that even as you invite me, that there is going to be fairness in what you're going to come and ask me. You cannot first run commercials and adverts or projections.
All right.
First the
Okay. Just a moment.
And what you would need to do.
Okay. Let's.
What you would need to do. You asked me the question.
Okay. Can we? Just a moment.
What you would
Just a
need to
moment.
do.
Just let's hear from.
What you would need to do is to ensure that you have guaranteed him that when he comes to this particular station, he is going to find fairness.
Here is a man.
And that way,
Thank
then
you.
you can
Okay,
be
we'll
able to
come
hear
to
him.
you. Okay, just a moment. All right, let's hear from Jakoyo as we're winding up. As we
He
prepare.
has spoken for 7 minutes, and I don't think that's fair.
It's not fair.
But he's been fairly silent as well. Okay. All right. No. Wamatangi, let's hear from Jakoyo.
It
Yes.
cannot be the responsibility for the Nation Media Group to protect William. That statement you read here, William said it. You know why we are saying IBC must go? One of the reasons we went to the streets was because of IBC meddling in Kericho's senatorial election, and that's where he said that thing. It wasn't all media.
Yes.
Now let me tell you this.
I refuse.
No, don't, even if you had your chance.
No.
But now let me say this. Now that Wamatangi has said he's going to invite William,
Yes.
do not be intimidated. Ask William.
I will not invite
Ask
him.
William
It is
why
the
he
responsibility of London Duty to invite
he
him, not me.
disrespects or he is disrespecting the retired president. Yes. Why he's lying that nobody has made him who he is, because we know who he was in YK92.
Those are his
and
views.
that was Moy.
Those are his
Ask
views.
William why he's saying he's not a land grabber, because we will give you the facts. Because these are leaders. You must make us. You must help as a media house.
All right,
you
let's
must
hear.
help
Thank
us,
you.
help this country.
Thank you.
Make-
Let's hear from
make
Khalwale
leaders
as
say
we're
the
winding up,
truth.
please.
Yeah.
We're winding up. We are winding up.
Everybody must
Just
get
a moment.
fair
No,
shot
just
at his own defense.
Just a moment.
A fair
All
shot
right, can we
at
just
his
have,
own defense.
okay, let's have some decorum. Can we hear from Honorable Khalwale as we're winding up also?
I just wind up
Honorable
by,
Elachi.
by saying it is important that members of the public should know that every public officer should be held to their account by Parliament, by the media, and by members of the public themselves. So when Deputy President Ruto is challenged to account for his activities, present and past, it should not be seen as a sign of intimidation or lack of respect. On the issue, Wamatangi, why don't you listen?
But be truthful also.
Even if you are a psychopath, do it intelligently.
No, but let's be fair. Be truthful. Be honest. You
You
know,
see-
we
you
are
see, on the issue-
simply saying, let the
issue-
man get a fair chance to defend himself.
Can he just finish? He's giving his headline thoughts. Please continue, sir.
Sure. Okay.
On the issue of the Deputy President trying to paint a picture of a different William Ruto while in New York from the one, I invite him to come here. We come and play for him video clips of proceedings in the National Assembly when we were challenging him on his involvement in the May scandal in 2009. Finally, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Chief Magistrate in Nyeri, John Onyeko. He jailed 3 officers who had been found meddling with the law of procurement. That is the way to go.
Thank you. Elachi, briefly, as we're winding up.
It is unfortunate that this morning we derailed and went individually to the Deputy President to discuss him. It is wrong. And importantly, and I would wish to say this, it is not wrong to discuss him, but when you bring an issue, which I think this is an issue that has now lapsed for 2 years, if I'm not wrong, when this comment started, because I was on this.
No, this comment was this year, and it was actually on the headlines of a Star, right?
Then,
did he also apologize on that?
No.
No, he
Then-
never did. All right.
then Debarl, and I repeat, he has never refused to come to NTV. It is you to approach as a media house. If you want he never refused. You've never gone to him and he has said no. So let us not say here he has refused to come on NTV. All we need to do is you invite him. And I think he's waiting for your invitation so that he comes. But having said that also, the issue of land grabbing, I think it is very immoral for, and I've said it here, Debarl, that if we are genuine, if we really, let's go back to the Langata, because that's where we come and say land grabbing for William Ruto.
You're supposed to be giving your headlines.
I'm giving my headlines on it. We know, I'm not opening, it was opened long ago, because that's the land grabbing. We've been talking about it on the Deputy President. And we have said very well, why can't we be genuine and ask ourselves, who had the title of that? Let us not lie and bring in the Deputy President and say, and he has said it clearly. And I think if we were genuine, even the media, we would have gone to the person who had that title deed, who sold it to William Ruto. I think it is important. It is important.
All right. Okay, let's hear headline thoughts from Isaac Ruto. Isaac Ruto, please.
Let us not go only to DP. I mean, many people here, and I get disappointed to our leaders how you behave.
Isaac,
I get disappointed.